All right, what's up, bitches? Listen, you listening? Thought it'd be fun to just make a little beat, as one does. So, I don't know what I'm doing at all. So, this is like a little practice, okay? And also, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. What we're going to do is we're going to use a bunch of like free stuff. So, if you download FL Studio, everything I'm about to do, you can do that, even with the free version, okay? I don't know what I'm doing at all, so don't take this as like a in-depth how-to tutorial, because that would be a not good idea, okay? We're just gonna have a little fun. All right. So first, what I'm gonna do, I'm having like an autistic fit right now. First, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find Citrus, because Citrus, honestly, it's not that bad. Again, it's free, so like it could be a lot better. Like I don't use this shit, but that's what we're gonna use. And what I like to do, I don't know what all these other freaks do, but look at all this. Look at all this. You have all of this for free. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and find something that looks like it might be okay to use. How about we just start with a piano? Let's just see what it sounds like, even though my piano turned off. Let's see what this sounds like. It's probably gonna sound horrible. It's probably gonna sound really bad. Wow. Ooh. Now, that sounds nice a little bit, doesn't it? I'm not gonna use that though. Ooh. Okay. Yo. That's decent. Let's just run with it. Honestly, I just pick random crap and then I just like freaking run with it. So what I like to do, put this little guy down. Then I don't, not that. Yeah. And again, I already know. I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. I can read your mind. You're thinking there's an easier way to do everything that I'm doing. The second thing that you're thinking, if I could grow a beard, that would probably look really nice, but I can't. So, all right. Next up, I'm going to extend this out, because while this does sound pretty decent, yeah, that sounds all right, but we're going to need more than just that, okay? Oh, yo, let's see what this sounds like. I'm just hitting random crap, okay? That's the fun part, is you learn as you go. Look at this. Okay. Yo, tell me that's not hard. That's like 6 notes. That's already like hard as hell. But yeah, so I'm gonna put this in the freaking thing here, and I'll put a little bit of EQ on it, just because every stupid fucking idiot on the internet, they start off doing something like this. So that's how you know we have to do the exact same thing. Look at that. Beautiful. That's incredible. That's insane. Oh, wow. But it can't just be this, obviously. There has to be more. So let's see what else. I'm feeling like, this is a little too happy. Listen to this. That sounds like hopeful. This beat so far, it has dreams. It has aspirations. But I'm feeling like maybe we got to crush those dreams a little bit. So maybe we'll go down a little bit, like, ooh, dude, don't even start. It's okay. I'm the greatest. It's fine. Look at this. Listen to this. Listen closely to this. Look at this. But then wait. Okay, not that low. Hold on. That's insane. I'm about to freaking cream. Listen to this. Look. It's almost too beautiful. I can't believe it. Something like that. You feeling that? All right. So another thing that I like to do. Oh my God. Oh no, the secret sauce. You can't use this. This is cheating. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna use some of the legacy. All right. Now I know. Listen, like I said before, and it's still true right now. Okay. As I'm just look at this. You see, all right. So I already know what you're thinking, right? I'm in there, dude. I'm like a freaking brainworm. All right. I know exactly what you're thinking. Okay. I'm looking good right now. I don't know why you're thinking that, but hey, thanks. All right. So listen, one thing that I like to do to like keep me in check, all right, is you check the little you change this from pattern to song, and then look at this. Now I'm just gonna pick. It does not matter. I'm not even gonna look at these. I'm just gonna pick something at complete random, and I'm gonna throw it in our little chamber here, and I'm just gonna like check the freaking tempo. Now I know there's like a tempo thing, and I don't like it. I don't know why. I'm like too autistic. I do not like using the. Hold on. Where even is that? Here, hold on. Yeah. Just export it like that. That's hard. Nah. But I don't like using the tempo thing. I think it pisses me off. I have a personal beef with the tempo gauge thing. So get that shit out of here. I make my own little tempo thing by just taking a random sound and hold on. I'm actually becoming like a full blown idiot right now. I can't even think. Like I could. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I can just you look. look at this. Right? And I just kind of feel it. I just kind of feel it out, right? But we're going to go back to this, like, and then see if like this is too fast, too slow, whatever. That could be decent. I don't even remember at this point. We're doing so much other shit that I don't even remember if that's like the vibe I was going for. So hold on, one more time. Let me just just 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm thinking something like that. I kind of just do it caveman style. All right. Yeah, so that's way too fast. No, yeah, I was thinking 80. That was my guess. Let's see. That might be still too fast. All right, that might be all right. Let's check it out. I know, I get it. Trust me. I know there's probably a way better way to do this. But this is the way that makes me happy, all right? Like I said, like, bro, my alarm, I'm supposed to be in bed right now, right this second. Do you understand? So just let me do this, all right? Listen to all these sucky sounds. Oh my God, these are so trash. That could be all right. I'm going to work with it. I'm going to make it work. You feeling that? What do you think about that? Is that nice? I need to get in the mindset that like what I'm trying to do right now is supposed to be simplistic, but I'm always trying to like overcomplicate it. And I think that's the thing too. What you'll realize, even though we've done almost nothing so far. We've done almost nothing, but What I think you need to realize is, especially if you're starting out, everyone wants to be like the next thing, you know? I think so many people, they're like, I'm going to get FL Studio right now and I am going to reinvent the wheel. And it's like, you don't need to reinvent the kick drum, bro. Like, just like take a freaking, take a little piano. That's the kick. I'm reinventing the kick as we freaking speak. Hold on. You just need a little bit of that. You need a little bit of this if you're feeling that, you know, all you need is a little bit of that, you know, and then you know the world's yours. I mean, really, like realistically, you could, like, it quite literally is all you need is like a piano, a kick drum, and like a snare or whatever, or an 808 if you want to be, you know, the next Metro Boomin. But you really don't need all that crap. Just don't even get me started on it. All right, let's actually make this into something. I'm doing a lot of talking smack, and I haven't like done anything yet. All right, so we got. This is like a rough draft basically, and I think that this is fine. You can start out with it just being like very rough. I just kind of build it out. I'm like, what do I need now? So a lot of the time, I don't like to use just one instrument. So we're gonna second one. So what you could do is you can actually copy this. Look at this. Just do a clone here. And I don't worry too much about the numbers, the Roman freaking numerals, or throwing it into the freaking thing here. But you know what? Since you're going to be a freaking asshole about it, I'll do it for you. Look. Boom. It's all in there. And you know what? Wrong button. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Not that. Look. There. Are you happy now? It's all in order. And it's, yeah. Okay. So check this out. So now we're going to go back in and we're going to find a different instrument. Now, again, you can pick any of these. They're all yours. The world's yours. Really? I can use these? Yes. What do I want to use? I don't know. A pad sounds fine. I'll pick this one. What does this sound like? Ooh. Now that's nice. That's real nice, isn't it? Listen, all right. Now let's check it out with what we have already. Okay, so check this out. I don't know if you're hearing this, and this is really how I do it every time. I felt like there was something there. I'm like, this could actually be something. Maybe it won't. You got to be open to the possibility that maybe this just ain't it, Chief. But I felt like I heard something. And since that was like all over the place, I'm going to have to like re-find it. But sometimes it's like you hit like a couple of notes here and it's like easy. And then you're like, oh, well, that's just, you know, that. And then you can just put it right in. But sometimes you hear it, but you gotta find it again. So I'm going to try and find it. Just give me a freaking second here. And sometimes when you play, you might not find the exact, you know, what you thought you had, but you'll find something new and you're like, oh, that's pretty sick too. That's pretty freaking sick too. So I think I had something on. And as we did before, I'm going to EQ out some of the sounds because it sounds so ass that it's going to like bother me. And it can be like a background sound, so I don't really care if I'm taking out like a lot just right now as we're kind of just figuring out what it's going to be. And like, at least for me, like I start just like hearing it like in my head. I'm like, all right, this is sick. Like this is already like the greatest thing ever, right? I'm about to cream. But I feel like I can already hear something else that could like go here. That's pretty sick. I mean, for just for like a basic, super basic, just starting point. Okay, that's something. That's not bad. That's not bad. If some absolute freak came to me and they're like, I made this as my first beat, I'd be like, yo, that's not bad. But yeah, and again, you got to start somewhere. Like, this could turn into something that's a lot more complex from here. But like, we've spent 23 minutes, so that makes it sound bad. But you know, like, for this is not the end unless you want. I mean, if you want, we can export this right now. Yeah, but all right. So my phone died. My freaking phone died. Great. Just what I wanted. I wanted that to happen. But we're gonna finish the beat. All right, we're gonna make a freaking beat, and who's gonna stop me? You gonna stop me? All right, and maybe now I can actually focus. All right, so check this out. Let's just keep rolling. All right, let's not even worry about it. All right, so yeah, again, like, let's just keep adding to it. You know, this is very simplistic. Hey, thanks. You know, but that's fine. You know, again, just start it out. Just start it out. Let's just keep adding stuff to it. Why not? And again, like, hold on, just so it's not too overwhelming here. Let's get, you know, let's stim it down a little bit. Is an important thing to keep in mind is the fact that, like, do whatever works. Like, this is the type of thing that, like, you add your own seasoning. So if you want to just keep using these two instruments and, you know, like, make new melodies and stuff, go ahead and do that. If you want to keep adding different, you know, instruments and stuff like that, then do that. It's entirely up to you. Like, look at this. I just want to use this as an example, and I don't know, again, if these sounds are going to be that great, but just for the freaking shit of it, I'm going to try and add a guitar. Why not? Like, you know, and a lot of the time too, it's not like I'm like, oh, I could hear a guitar playing on this. Like, no. But why could it not? Why could I not just play a guitar right now? I think that's the question that more people need to ask when it comes to, like, just making a random ass beat. All right, so let's just see what some of these guitars sound like. They're probably not going to be very great, but they could be okay. They could be maybe not too bad. Let's check it out. Already, immediately, look at that. It's like, actually, that's poetry in motion. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good. So look. Now that could be cool too. I might even just for the hell of it, just because this isn't a demonstration here. Look at this. So we're gonna get rid of, like, what we already, like, it's gonna be there, the previous things that we added, but I want to see what it sounds like, just like without all the extra flavor. Let's just listen to what this sounds like all on its own. All right, so I want to shorten this a little bit. Look at this. And there's a lot of that where you're just kind of listening to what it sounds like, and it's gonna take a while before you, like, know, you know, the size of the freaking notes that you want. Sometimes I can tell right away, like, oh, you know, especially once you kind of figure out what the rest of this stuff looks like, then it's like, oh, like, I know that I want the bass to last, like, the whole way through the pattern, you know. But right now, I'm just kind of seeing what it sounds like. And sometimes you play stuff down, and it's not until you hear it. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted to do, but I love the way that it came out. So be open to that as well. Okay, so I'm going to extend this, and this is nice. This is nice for what it is, but I think I want to, that's not like the melody I had in my head, and I think the one that I had in my head sounds a little bit nicer as an entry point. So, and just so that you can kind of see, you know, I probably wouldn't do it like this just in my spare time, but just so that you can see, like, this is, you know, the progression. And for me, it's like, I usually try and keep it like, this is one box here, and then here's another box here with, like, something different. And you can color code it and all that crap, but I have no interest in doing that. So I want to change this one up just a little bit more. And I'm sure there's people that hate like everything that I'm doing. I don't know what's gonna help for your understanding, so I'm just kind of doing all kinds of random shit. But again, like I hear like a melody that I feel like would be nice, so I'm trying to just fill it in. We can go from there. Dude, that's lovely. Is that not? So let's just listen to what we got here. That's not bad. I don't know how much I want to like spend, here trying to like make this into something, because I'm not going to use this other for this demonstration. Like I have no interest in using this, but like you see, like you start to build it out. And for me personally, what seems to work really well for me is to kind of just like throw as much like crap on screen as possible, and then like make sense of it later, some of the time at least. So like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this right here. Like this might be a better, this might be better like afterwards. So maybe we'll start with the guitar. Like maybe that sounds a little nicer, and then it translates into this afterwards. That could be like a good like, chill point. Like this is like coming in hot, a little bit, It's like, ooh, that like gets you amped up, and this is kind of like where it chills out a little bit. Gives a little more space, a little spacious, a little more of the vibe. You feel me? Like that's pretty sick. I'm digging that, at least in concept. And again, we can change this out. We could look the opportunities are forever. Like we could, stretch it out for who the hell knows how long, But I don't think I want to do that. Maybe something like that. But yeah, and you could even change out like the drums as well, or just remove them entirely, which is fine. 'Cause listen. Yo, doesn't that hit hard? Like that hits hard because it's like, again, it comes in like, this is the part where it starts to hit. Whoa. That's where it starts to hit, right? And then over here is like, again, the chill point. So then we could even do this. Look at this. So that when it comes back, like, look. Oh, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty sick. Again, the options, are endless. But let's just add something else in here, just because, again, like I don't know. I see a lot of tutorials and stuff like that where it's like, there's a lot of tutorials that really aggravate me, because it's like, oh, you can't do this, oh, you can't do that. I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know what? You could do that as well. This is my stupid sucky song, and if I want to add 12 different instruments and make them all come together and come in and out and all this and that, I can freaking do that if I damn well choose to do so. Yeah, why not a wind instrument? Let's just see what it freaking sounds like, and if it doesn't fit the song, then we don't have to use it. But if it sounds incredible, then let's freaking use it. Honestly, some of these free sounds ain't too bad, but let's just hear on. It's not perfect, and again, I'm not going to spend an insane amount of time here, but you see like the vibe that I'm going for, like that just instantly worked. I feel like now, we heard it with this, but look at this. We can move it just like that, just like so, and let's see what that sounds like. And now, hold on. I want to check out one more thing too, because this could be the real deal. Dude, look at that. Not only that, but look at this. All together. Listen to this. Not too bad. Not too bad. See, because here's the thing too, just like so many other things in life, and I always try and tell people this, is like once you get the ball rolling, bro, because look, when we started getting into 10 here, and you might have seen me doing this before a little bit, is that like you hear a little melody and then you're like, okay, like how can what else can I do with this? I think sometimes people, they put instruments and they just do a little bit of something, they do a little, whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what that instrument does. The little, wind thing does and that's it. But it's like, sometimes, like, why not extend out? Like, this is a beautiful instrument. Why not, like, let's see what it can do? You don't want to outstay its welcome, because it's one of these things where it's like, like I was saying before, it's all like, taste preference. And it's kind of like when you're cooking, you add, the flavors that you like, but you can also add too much. I don't want to, stretch this out, too much. I think if I was like, all right, this is all completely done, I was completely happy with this, I think that, like, this, just as it is here, could be like, you can make a whole track and only have 10 show up like this and 11 show up like this at the very end, and then kind of like fade out. You wouldn't want to just like keep doing like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11. You could easily like outdo, like the beauty of like what this here is doing, where like the drums, for instance, like this could, just go on in the background, and it's like it's what's like stabilizing like the beat. So it really doesn't matter. You kind of have to figure out, like, there are certain things where it's like, there are certain times where I do want to change out the drums, all right? I want them to continue like doing things. But again, like I said at the start, one of the things that I started doing a lot more recently is chilling out, because I would do so many different things with the beat, as far as like the drums, and it's like, oh, change out the drums and do this and that, and like have it like super ADHD, and all that is like super fun, and I really do enjoy it, and it adds a lot to a beat. But at the same time, you got to know when to keep things like super like chill, because we could do all kinds of crazy, drum things. And, again, like everyone has like, it's like every single beat has like the freaking hi-hats and the snare and all that. And it's like, bro, like in the 808s, like I said, and it's like, that's fine. If you want to do that, you can do that. But like, you don't have to do, hi-hats and stuff like this, look, just to, you might get pissed off, but believe me, I get pissed off every single day, like thinking about this. Look at this. Look, if we want, we can, let me see if I can find like a. This one's extremely annoying, so this is the perfect one. And yes, I'm going to paint them in because I enjoy doing it this way. Look. It's like, yeah, like this is great, right? Like this is I mean, and this is being like moderate. Now, hold on. Let's just be as stupid as humanly possible, just to like make a point, like a really dumb point. Like, listen, like this is fine. Like if this is the type of thing that gets you hard, then like do this, bro. But like, I feel like not every track needs the stupid freaking hi-hats 24/7, this and that, the 808 and the big drop and the, hey, and the mic, and all that. Like, like chill with all that. Like you can like make an instrumental in FL Studio that's not just like the most generic, Pierre Bourne, Metro Boomin shit. Like, I hate that. Like it literally makes me want to peel my skin off with a freaking potato peeler. Like, now it's growing on me. Honestly, that's kind of hard. But the only point that I'm trying to make before everyone gets very upset is just that, like, you can make, like, a song that's not, like, the same shit. Like, this just how it is fine. It's a vibe all on its own. It's simplicity. It's doing something different. And if you wanted to, like, rap or whatever on this, like, you can do that. And there's a lot of artists that are doing stuff like that. I think, like, I'm really into like some of the new like wave where it's like someone's like rapping, like they're going in, but like the beat isn't like just the same like traditional like thing that we've heard a million times. Like there's like cool like samples. Like for example, one of my friends, he put me onto Key Glock, and the first track, is it called Hallelujah? I'm pretty sure. Like I feel like that, like there are aspects of it that like, okay, like this is still like rooted in like hip hop, right? But like that beat, like the gospel like influence is like, this is like not, you know, just like the same shit that we've heard a million times, you know? And again, like I feel like people are a little jaded to that as well, because, you know, there are people like Kanye or whatever, or like there's a lot of people who are doing like really cool and inventive things, you know, who are popular, but it's just like, why don't we see stuff like that on like the ground level? Like, why aren't there more people who are like, you know, everyone's like, you know how many people are like, oh, you make music? Here, listen to my music. And it's like, bro, this is the same thing that I've heard so many times. This has been played out for like 20 years. Like this is so played out. Like it's not even like fresh again. Like it hasn't even come back to be fresh again. Like this is just played out. Like I could hit shuffle if Spotify had a feature that shuffled every single hip hop track ever, and it's like, bro, like you would blend right in with just like every single other track. But imagine, like, I don't know who would rap on this or whatever. And that's the thing too, is I feel like especially, it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to just like make generic, you know, bullshit or whatever, and you can get extremely far doing that, you know, trust me. But if you're trying to like do your own thing or whatever, then like don't worry about it, because like this could be you. Like you don't have to be like, oh well, how would Travis Scott fit on this song? I don't care how Travis Scott would fit on this song. But if he for some reason he was like, yo, like I need that, you know, that citrus beat with the stupid hi-hats. If he wanted that, like he can get this. But also again, like, you know how unique it would be if you made a beat and it wasn't just like the same old shit, you know, like, bro, and then you continue to build off of it. As soon as you start adding, as soon as you add, then it's just like every single other thing that you've heard 1,000 times. Not only that you've heard, that I've heard, that everyone's heard so many times, and we're sick of it. I cannot, like, I can't. There's nothing with hi-hats I think anyone could do that would impress me at this point at all in any way. The hi-hat, like, let's completely abolish the hi-hat. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And again, there's fun stuff that you can do. It can add like fun texture and stuff like that. But like, not every track needs 808s and hi-hats, and I pressed that on accident. But yeah. So again, like, let's just listen to it again. Let's go back and just like, no, not that. Oops. And yeah, it's not the most inventive thing ever, but at least it sounds different from every single thing, bro. I feel like I was like, I need to like make music just so that it's not just to get away from the exact same thing that I've heard every single day, every single place that I go, 24/7. Like, please, like, there's so many other things you can do. You can add guitars, you can add little wood, wind, you know, things. You can add whatever you want. It could be anything that you want. It could have it all, dude. It could have it all. And it can just like come together at the same time. It can play like different layers. It can be anything, you know? Like, why are we just playing around with the exact same things that Pierre Bourne has mastered 10 years ago? Why are we doing that? You cannot out Pierre Bourne, okay? We cannot out, if it was possible to out Metro Boomin, I promise you it would be done, because every stupid fucking idiot who has $200 to buy FL Studio is trying to make a stupid Metro Boomin type beat, and they put it out on the internet and they think they have some insane skills, and they just don't, okay? And listen, this is not the best thing that I've ever created, not even close, but at the same time, it does not sound like a Metro Boomin, fucking watered down piece of shit instrumental that everyone's heard a million times already. Okay? And that's really all that I'm asking for. And that's really all you have to do. Again, this isn't the greatest thing ever, but it's just for an on the spot, like random thing. Like that's not too bad. I think at least. I think that's a pretty decent spot to start. And just to clarify, don't hate Metro Boomin, although I'm going to bring him up all the time when in context of the music, because he's very revolutionary, and every single stupid fucking idiot gets FL Studio and they just make the most generic, watered down Metro Boomin, Travis Scott type beat, and they think they're the second coming of Jesus Christ. And bro, like I said before, I mean, it genuinely, I cannot stress this enough, how much it makes me want to take a fork and jab my eyes out in my ears as well, but my eyes first. For what reason, I don't know for sure, but like, bro, like there's so many things. Again, look at this. Look at how many presets. These are, you don't have to do anything. You just load this up, all of these. This is just one instrument. We can change. Look, there are other things that are free here. Hold on. Harmless. This one's decent as well. Look at all these. All of these basses, atmospheres, keyboards, pads, percussion, synthesizers. There's so many that you can just play around with. Hold on. And again, that's just another one that just comes with the free. You can download this right now and it's free. It has all of this. What's another one? Harmor. I got so much love out of just screwing around with Harmor. There are so many beautiful instruments, and all you have to do is you just load them up, and that's it. And, well, the first one's going to sound like shit, but I'm just going to pick a random keyboard. Church organ. That's insane. Let's just go to the next one. Dude, tell me that's not incredible. I'm going in order. I've used all of these. I've probably made an instrumental with every single one of these presets. Sorry, it's like super loud, but like, you get it. That's just, I just wanted to, do a little example. So that's that, I guess. Thanks. Maybe you won't ever see this, or maybe you will. I don't know. But this has been episode 0 of making a really sucky instrumental. Thanks for tuning in. Next time, I'll have a plan. Or maybe not.